Welcome to Dig It, a real estate podcast by Hubble Realty Company. Well, hi everyone. Welcome to Dig It. Welcome back. I know it's been a while since you've heard from us. You got to see a new look. We debuted a new cover, a new look for the podcast for season 2, and it's really fun. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But if you got here via Google, Spotify, or Apple, then you already saw it. So it's perfect. Today we're talking all things senior living with an awesome group of people. Jed, Jennifer, Maria, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Would you guys go around and just tell people who you are, name, title, and then we'll dive into how you guys got started in senior living. Jed, let's start with you.
Sure. Yeah, my name's Jed Gines. I'm the Vice President of Operations for Highmark Senior Living. We manage the Edencrest portfolio here in the Des Moines market. So I've been in senior living for about 16 years now. I got my start on the nursing home side of the business. So became an administrator there, ran a few buildings, and then became a regional and ended up here. So
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Love it. Jen, what about you?
My name is Jennifer Nolan. I am the Regional Clinical Director for Highmark, all the Edencrest. I have been a nurse for quite some time. I got my start in surgical nursing, actually. I started as a surgical nurse, and then I've also done long-term care, and I just found my love with geriatric, and I started in assisted living, and I've been here since.
Perfect. Maria?
I'm Maria Kohring, and I am the Regional Director of Sales for the Highmark Edencrest portfolio. And I actually got my start in, originally it was high-end fundraising, so that's a lot of relationship-based selling, which plays into senior living, but also I'm a licensed real estate agent and licensed broker and sold primarily multi-unit living, transitional living, so condominiums, age-restricted, 55-plus, villas, all of that, which is the move before this move, and transferred into this when I worked for a developer who was building a 55-plus that didn't get approved by a city council, and it turned into being a senior living community many years ago, and I've been doing this for over 20 years now.
Well, blessing in disguise along the way to get everyone here from their different paths. I love it. TV news background for those in the room who didn't know. That's kind of my way to Hubble.
I didn't just know that.
Oh, it is fun. So you're like, why does she like interviewing so much? That's why, because it's a natural for me. Let's dive in a little bit for those who don't know about Highmark Senior Living, but also who maybe haven't heard of Edencrest before. Let's start with Highmark and maybe some of the vision or the values and some of the things that you guys, really work on the Highmark side of things.
Sure. So Highmark was started a little over a year ago in an effort to manage the Edencrest portfolio. Hubble Real Estate Group started Highmark to be able to have a little bit more control over the management of the operations of the Edencrest communities. So,
which there are 10 Edencrest communities.
Yep.
Soon to be 10.
Soon to be 10.
Yes. Okay, I just round up every time.
Yep.
But
Right.
soon to be 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. And what kind of care do all of the communities offer? And this is really, I'm tossing questions at everyone today, so in no particular order.
All of our communities offer a variety of services. We have independent services, we have assisted living services, and we have memory care. And so we try to meet the resident where they're at with their needs. Some of our residents, they're there because they just need the socialization. They like the activities. They like being a part. Some of our residents also need more care. And we just try to meet them where they are from a nursing perspective. We do an assessment, and then we provide the services that they need.
Love that.
Yeah. I'll jump in as well.
Do.
All the communities are beautiful. We don't have a community that is over 12 years old. So they're all very nice, very well thought out, just beautifully aesthetic communities that our seniors love. So
Well, and quite a few are new too. I mean, within the last 3 to 4 years, brand new. So that's also kind of a different concept and also an exciting one too. So there's, let's see, Pleasant Hill, Cattlestone. There are a couple of just communities Timberline, thank you, and Urbandale, that have just come online recently. So if people maybe took a look a few years ago for mom or dad or someone else in the family, there's some new options out there.
Yes, and they all the buildings are all beautiful. They all have a little bit different feel and personality to them as well. So if you go
What do you mean?
there's the right community for everybody, I like to say, because, there is communities where someone who very high-end amenities are what they're looking for, and some people like a very down-home feel. And so when they go into one community, our sales team knows that maybe this one's not the right fit, but since we have so many in the area, that there is an option to be able to visit one of our other communities. And even though it's Edencrest and the same high standards, it might have a little bit different feel for the person moving in.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that. So what are some of we're just going to start high level here, but like, what are some of your favorite things about Edencrest today when you first walk into a community?
My favorite thing is really that we're selling private apartments with discreet assistance. So for someone coming in, it's not going to feel like you're moving into a medical facility. It feels very natural to your progression in life. So part of the discreet assistance is that the person is enjoying their life. It's all about their lifestyle and continuing to do the things they love, but maybe they stop doing those because maybe they can't move around as easily, or they're a little bit worried that their walker won't be able to fit in the movie theater or where they're going. And so the discreet assistance is really that they can keep having whatever type of care they need is taken care of. When they go on trips, there's someone there to assist if they need assistance. But it really isn't calling out. They're not their health diagnosis, and they're not their challenges that they face physically. They're very much the same person that they were years ago.
Yeah, not defined by the diagnosis or the help that they need or anything of that nature. So can you guys dive into a little bit more about assisted living versus maybe independent living versus maybe memory care, just for those who might not completely understand all of the services and kind of that personalization that can go alongside of it?
Absolutely. I think
Jen, get your mic nice and close.
Sorry.
I want everyone to hear exactly what you're saying.
I think some of the misconception is long-term care or nursing home versus assisted living. Okay. And with assisted living, we're not a nursing home. This is your own home. We want you to bring your items from home, hang up your pictures, hang up your TV, and be involved in activities. The difference with the independent services or assisted living or memory care all depends on your needs. If you don't need any services, we're there. If you do need us, you still will receive a pendant. You can still press it if you're having a bad day and you do need some services. I think it's about having that comfort for family, knowing that their loved one is in their own apartment, but there's still people in the building. Whereas if they were at home, there's no one there for them. So we're constantly checking to make sure they're okay. With assisted living, we provide services. We can provide anything from medication to, helping someone with escorts, helping someone with showers or dressing. With memory care, those are residents that maybe need a little bit more extra help. They need some redirection. And so we have secured neighborhoods where there's just as much activities going on in our neighborhoods, in our memory care neighborhoods, as there are in our assisted living. So a lot of the places we combine them too,
So when you say neighborhoods, you're talking just maybe a different part of the same community, the same building. Okay.
It's really important for us that, back to what Maria was saying, we don't want to be clinical. So we don't say facility, we say community. These aren't units, they're your apartments, they're your homes. And a lot of them are decorated on the outside as if you would see in an apartment complex or at their house. So our memory care residents, they need just a little bit more attention, maybe some encouragement to come to dining or to activities, or some redirection because they tend to wander. Yeah. But those are some of the differences with our levels of care.
And memory care, and truly, because I'm not at the age yet. My mom and dad would come, come
Yes.
at me if they're like, don't you talk about that yet. I'm not at that age yet, but my grandmother is in a care facility, and she is in her own community. And I know that it's just been a blessing, somewhat in disguise at first, but it's been a blessing now, as well as she enters her 92nd year of life.
Nice.
Shout out. Hi, Grandma Mary.
Hi, Grandma Mary.
She's truly the best. Still plays piano for everyone in the community rooms. 'Cause
I love that.
she's a precious person. Where was I going now? Grandma Mary, where was I headed? So memory care can mean maybe someone has had like a diagnosis of some sort that means like an Alzheimer's or something.
Or dementia.
else?
Or
Yep.
dementia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. We look at dementia, we look at Alzheimer's. Two things that we try to focus on is does someone try to leave the building? We call it eloping. If you try to leave the building, we would look at maybe putting you in that secure area in memory care, but also safety awareness. There's some people that are independent in their apartment, but they have that level of confusion where they don't know what to do in an emergency.
Yeah.
That's when we're going to look at that memory care. We're going to be laying eyes on you more throughout our shifts or through our days than we would if you were in assisted living or independent.
I would also add to Jen that memory care, you're not locked away.
Right.
You do leave the community. There's
Yep.
always an attendant or a family member with you to make sure that you make it safely home.
Yep.
But I know when people are touring, there's that feeling of, oh, I should be able to take care of mom or dad at home, or my spouse. And I think the thing is, for adult kids, what you really see is the parent wants to still be your parent. They want you to maybe pick them up. They'll be ready. The attendants would have gotten them, if they needed assistance getting dressed, and you pick them up and you have a more parent-child interaction. So,
And that's important. We see that a lot, especially with husband and wives and kids, that they're so busy being a caregiver to their loved one, they're not being a child or a spouse. And let us worry about that while you're just being a son or a daughter. Also, like you were saying, a lot of the outings, Kettlestone, they just took a whole bunch of people, both assisted living, independent, and memory care, all to the Botanical Center.
Fun.
Yep.
Yes.
The resident aides went,
Field
everyone
trips.
went. Field trips, yeah. So everyone is involved. So even though they are in a secure neighborhood, they're still, everyone is put together, and we have events in memory care that assisted living come up to, and we have events down in assisted living that everyone comes to.
I love that.
Happy hour every Friday.
The important things in life. I have seen some of those, the little hidden, I call them like speakeasies in some cases, but the bars in some of the areas are
gorgeous.
so cool.
Yes.
So cool. So
I think Pleasant Hills is named Copper
Creek.
and it's beautiful.
a little nod to the golf community, to the other little communities that are out there.
Yeah.
Well, so Jed, to you, how do you think Edencrest's approach to like memory care and some of these other, senior living facilities, how do they stand out from other senior communities maybe that you've experienced? And that question could go for any of you, honestly.
So, we are constantly looking at all of our programming to ensure that we're offering the best quality services to our residents, especially in the memory care. That can be a difficult area to work in.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that all of our folks are certified and know how to handle different scenarios with dementia care. One of the things, back to your question that you asked Maria a while ago on what's your favorite thing about Edencrest?
Yes, please.
My favorite thing is our people. We have amazing people that work for us.
Yeah.
We work hard on trying to provide them the tools necessary to be able to do their job. And, we just have great people that are working in our industry that continue to show up on cold, snowy days. They trek through the snow and get to work so that they can help care for our residents. And, on the same thing with Jennifer when she was talking about how, the kids just want to be the kids and the parents want their kids to just be their kids. Well, our staff becomes their kids and become their family, and they really work hard on that. But
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, and these are hard jobs too. Let's be real.
Very.
You're taking care of people all the time, 24 hours around the clock. So I'm very thankful for the team that you guys have put into place out there. Because not to say how many How many associates are there now? 3?
We have about 350.
350, always adding to the team because we're always adding to the communities, right?
Yes, yes.
But it's wild just to know how many people kind of make those, worlds go round. I think that's really just a true testament to your team and all the efforts you guys have put in.
I would say, to add to our memory care neighborhoods, I think a big positive is the size. They feel very home-like. When I was visiting one of the communities yesterday, some of the residents were setting the table and had chores to do, things that they like to do when they were setting up their own tables, cleaning up or taking down holiday decorations. But the size of it allows everybody to be involved.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Well, can we switch gears a little bit, if you guys are okay, to kind of talk about the financial side of senior living a little bit more, because I know that that's something that clearly goes into planning. It's a big move for a lot of people.
Yes.
Trying to figure out how to kind of manage the resources and maybe downsize or right size or just move into the right fit for them. So, how can this team and Edencrest teams help families understand and kind of plan for those costs, whether it is assisted or independent or memory care?
I think from, obviously the cost is a little, it feels high to people when they see that compared to a regular apartment building, but you aren't really selling just the apartment, you're selling a whole lifestyle change. I know we have a financial sheet that's in our file that shows all the things that they are paying for now that they may have forgotten that they're paying for, that would be included in your rent when you move.
Like
everything
what?
From, your taxes or your cable or your fitness center, your meals. We offer 3
Housekeeping,
meals a
dining.
day. Yeah. All these services are built into your monthly rent, but also we have a social director, so you have plans going on all of the time. It's like you have your own personal social director, you have a concierge, and you're not just the apartment, you're the whole community. You're downsizing, but you actually have a lot more space.
Might be upgrading a little bit.
Right.
So some of those
Well, some of our communities are very nice.
Right.
So-
Yeah, I truly like you. I think it was you that said it earlier, Maria, that all of them have kind of their own
They do.
styles. So if you are more into the walking trails, okay, great. Maybe Green Meadows is where you need to be.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
Kettlestone, if you're really thinking you need to see, the live music that's like right down the block. Like there's
Right.
always something that kind of differentiates them. So
Well, I was just going to build on that. You were talking about the different things. We have chefs at each one of ours. And so you're just
please talk food.
When you, I'll talk
She'll
food
talk it
all the
day.
time. I love the food. Every community I go to, I'm like, I'm here. We have chefs there, and so you have this. What is it, Maria? You can test the chef.
Test the chef.
You can come in and test the chef, and so they'll cook you a meal. And we think it's important when you come in for your tour, your assessment. You can have a meal there, but it's not just when our seniors are living by themselves. They're not cooking for themselves. So we'll see the weight loss.
Don't worry, that was me hitting my mic
Okay.
like a goof because I've only done this a million times, but it's me hitting my mic. Sorry, continue.
No, it's okay. So you'll see weight loss. And what's nice when you come into the community, you've got 3 meals a day. And we've also got, if you don't like something on the menu, you have an off the menu. I know that a lot of the events that we do, the Christmas events that we had and the Thanksgiving events,
Yes.
that was all done by our culinary team. Our regional Jason, he coordinated all of that with his team. And there's one of our chefs in one of our community. She's a pastry chef. She makes homemade truffles.
Amazing.
Yeah, they're
good.
They're delicious.
And you didn't bring any for
No,
tasting today, is what you're getting at. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah,
I will add part of the dining experience, though, part of the discreet assistance is if your parent maybe isn't drinking, like the culinary team notices, the waiters and waitresses can alert the wellness team that maybe someone's not drinking a lot of water. They're just pushing food around on their plate and kind of alert that maybe something's going on.
Yep.
Oh,
Well,
that's such a nice touch.
On top of all of that, too, we got great chefs and everything, but all of the menus are signed off by a registered dietitian to ensure that they're getting the right amount of nutrients into their body. And so that we don't have the weight loss.
Exactly.
That, so.
I know. I love the fact that we have culinary teams because food is a huge deal.
It's huge.
Like everyone knows, we're based out of Iowa, like very Midwest, Midwestern. We love our food here, so it's a very important part of any community. And yeah, that's a big selling point. You stole my point. I was going to say, schedule a tour and do a
Test the chef.
You can even take home a sack. And the chef will make you a meal if you don't have time to stay for a meal.
No way.
And you can even call us 5 minutes before you're coming to let us know so that you don't think we created something special for your tour. So we're very confident in our chefs at every property.
Yes, we are.
I love that. I think that's just a cool little touch, you guys. So kudos to that. I think that's fun. A little bit more on the financial side. So are there other, like a financial resource or assistant options that that you guys can kind of help families, facilitate some of this, some of these options? Or, I know that there are even maybe some programs out there for like veterans or first responders too. I mean, if they're kind of maybe first time home buyers, there's probably an array of options for people to consider.
Yes. And our sales teams are trained to know all the resources in the area. So whether, if someone states that they're a veteran or that we ask if they're a veteran, there's a benefit for veterans. They will go through like things people didn't realize could maybe bridge over to senior living while they're selling their home. So there's a lot of resources out there, whether you're a veteran or you're just someone who's worried, like they see the price per month and how long is my resource is going to last. There's many different programs out there, from reverse mortgages to bridge it over to, we also work with Elder Life to have some options for people as well. They'll recommend real estate agents and different resources from that end as well.
And on the wellness side, when you start needing services, we first try to reach out to some of physical therapy, home therapy. We partner with therapy that is actually in-house. And so we first tried to see if the services, instead of, adding on to any type of care charges, can we first go to home health or an outpatient service? We can do physical therapy, occupational speech. We can do hospice. A lot of people don't realize that we can have hospice at assisted living. The whole thing is to allow someone to be at home while receiving services, and that's their home. Yeah. And so we try to outsource all of that before we start adding on any type of care charges or care services on our side.
Well, and that's so nice and considerate, right? Because you don't want to feel like, what if there's this next step? I think you guys have all kind of called it, and maybe others too, but kind of this aging in one place, in one community. So if you do start out, like you say, in assisted living and you need to continue on your journey, maybe down to memory care, that's an option for people, right?
Yes. It's all about guiding families and guiding loved ones to where they need to be, whether that's independent, whether it's assisted, whether it's memory care, and whether that's not even maybe with us. Maybe they do need higher level of care. To me, it's just about meeting their needs. We want them with us, but it's more about just finding where they're going to be taken care of and safe.
Love that. Safe. Love that.
Yep.
Well, so how do you guys see Edencrest evolving? I mean, 10 years ago, there were, maybe a handful of communities, and now we're talking about 10, and we'll get to the new ones here soon to go a little more into those. But how do you think, just us as a team, but we as a community are evolving to meet, the needs of seniors today? Because we know that there is a big population of seniors coming our way. They're already here. But Iowa has a very large population of people who are 55 plus. And soon, 5-10 years from now, that'll be 65 plus. So it's always something that kind of is in the back of my brain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think for the industry as a whole, I think when assisted living started, people moving in had almost a declinist type mentality, like we're going to be needing more care, didn't ask for a lot of services. If you just had meals and care, that was enough. Yeah. And now we've evolved into this very exciting time where these communities are just amazing. Your activities are things you look forward to doing. And now it's optimism. It's not declining, it's optimism. And the group coming in right now is people looking to not only just stabilize, but be healthier. They look for wellness programs, yoga. We have Tai Chi at one of our communities. They look for healthy meals and trips and things that, years ago you wouldn't be looking for. And I think Edencrest, what's exciting about this whole Highmark and Edencrest is it's a regular part of a person's life moving. Hubble Homes does people's first homes, middle homes, transition homes. Yeah. And now, maybe your last home, maybe not.
Yeah.
I think it's about growing. It's about allowing them to be completely independent, and it's about socialization. Like you said, this next wave that's coming through, it's not about being decline or needing services. It's not about wellness really at all. It's about just being independent and socializing.
Yeah.
It's just healthier for you.
It is.
Loneliness is just not healthy, and you're daily engaged with other people. And I think that right there, and a lot of people are looking for like mental health services and things like that to be added in. So it does tie wellness in, but from the angle of we're trying to be better, we're trying to feel better.
Yeah. Technology is also a big part moving forward. We're starting to see, I'm analyzing the TV contract right now. Do we stay with standard TV, or do we transition over to just more of a web-based, everybody is streaming. They have Netflix and all of that. So, we're looking at that kind of stuff as well. And then all of our communities are equipped from a technology standpoint with the latest and greatest. And we continue to look and explore for different options there too.
Well, and I know that goes into, some of our employee communications with like our employee app, and some of the other ways that families and representatives and things of that nature get their updates and their news and how they stay up to date on how, their family members are doing. So technology in and of itself is changing the game no matter what we do, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I thought you were going to break into "One Is the Loneliest Number" song for a second. I thought you were going to break into song.
We did talk about a song.
I know you did. We talked about singing on this. Still bets are on because we're still recording. Well, and that's what I was going to segue into. Are there other technology efforts that you guys want to, touch on, or anything else that's just like, I'm glad that these services are in place, not only, yes, maybe for the residents, but maybe more so for even family members who are making that decision to help their mom or dad or otherwise kind of move in.
As we look more at memory care and dementia, there's a lot of technology out there right now to help with dementia. And so I know that our regional activities person is looking at that and things that we can do to keep them busy. That's another reason why you want to keep them, in an assisted living, is that there's activities. It keeps them busy. It allows them to still do things instead of staying at home. And so just looking at technology and how that can help us with our residents that have the dementia.
Can you go into a few of the activities that you guys, that you offer and that you get to do or get to, allow people to have some fun doing?
In general?
Just in general. Because truly, I think some listeners are probably like, okay, it's puzzles. Okay, it's so much more than that.
We have competitive beanbag baseball.
Yeah. Trust me, there's going to be more on that later this year because we have some serious competitors and some serious teams.
Very serious.
I love that.
They go to the casino. They go to the botanical center. They go to the theater.
Howell's Pumpkin Patch was one last year, I think.
We did the lights, the drive-through lights
over
at the
Holiday?
state. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah. And one thing we like to do is the Eden Endeavors. We like to what's on your bucket list and try to make that achievable to our residents that are there, especially residents that maybe are declining. I know that we're looking at someone who wants to pet a horse, and so we're looking at trying to get some horses there in spring.
Let's make it happen.
Right.
That's what we said. We're going to bring horses to the building. We've had...
But it's simple. It truly, in most cases, from what my limited knowledge of some of these Eden Adventure requests, they are really simple things that people just got to do when they were a kid or just growing up on their farms and what have you. And so it's really achievable
Yes.
boxes to check.
We
as
will
far
go.
as-
We will go big if someone wants to go big.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
Wanna
mean,
jump
swing
out
for
of
the
a plane?
fence.
Let's
Why
test
not?
it. I say so. I'd say let's test it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, hot air balloon. What are we doing?
Right.
All right, that's your call. That's your
I
call.
said jump out of a plane. You said hot air balloon. We're all about the flying.
I'm holding my
I'll
breath.
keep my feet on the ground.
Oh, I love that. I think it's just kind of one of those that probably, in my opinion, sets our community apart from
Yes.
others as well, just because of the variety of different options that you guys give them just to have things to do.
Yeah.
Yes, and
People
it's
to see,
something
things to
people
do.
probably
Kim?
would have never thought, like, I'm going to do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's important to give them something to look forward to, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the biggest things in our industry is giving them hope and giving them those opportunities to find something that they like and that they enjoy to do and that they look forward to doing. So
We sponsor the senior games, and there's there's runners who are over 100 years old. There's people doing all activities well over the age that you would think. Across the United States, people are running marathons
Right.
into their 80s and 90s. So
I
it's a
love
very
that.
exciting time, and at our community, they can train for these and then be participants. So.
And we try to bring a lot of education into our communities, whether that is diabetic education or Parkinson's education. We try to bring more education to them to help them with their health and their wellness.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I know that there, especially in Iowa, probably. Okay, I'm assuming, so tell me if I'm wrong. In Iowa, a lot of people are moving from rural communities into more urban communities, maybe to be closer to their families, their grandkids, or just their kids in general. So I know I've seen a lot of different, feedback from your teams, and just, wow, you've made that transition from rural to urban feel very seamless, which I think is a really cool thing, being a farm kid myself.
yeah, well, and we hear it all the time, right?
Yeah.
We hear the concerns about, oh, I don't know if mom or dad's going to settle in and enjoy this. They've been putting this off for years because they don't want to live in the city or in a communal setting or whatnot. And then we hear it all the time, how much, months later, how much they love it, and they just can't. They wish they would have done it earlier.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I feel like our different areas try to meet them where they are. So you talk about the farmers, culinary, meat and potatoes, activities.
Right.
They still do the bingo, and they do the cards or men's coffee.
And gardening, so
And
farm
gardening.
to table.
Yep. And so, but they also have for the more city folk, they've got, culinary really tries to bring in different items to make them try new foods. And then we've got the different activities. And so we really try to meet our residents where they are.
I love that.
Yeah.
And the residents have a committee
Yeah.
that they plan the activities. They have
Yep.
say into the activities.
Yep.
That's
So
Yeah, we always are looking for their feedback. There's resident council that happens, and then they've got food council that happens. And so we are always, even as the regional team, we're not just at the Hubble building. We're in the buildings. I mean,
Yes.
you can typically see us in the buildings.
Well, I can never find you guys at the Hubble.
No.
Corporate, trust
No.
me. You guys are always out running around. I
Yep.
can never find
We're
you.
in the buildings.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about new communities here for just a minute. So we have, obviously, Edencrest at Timberline. That was Urbandale. That opened early last year, I believe.
yes.
Yeah.
And then Edencrest at Kettlestone, which is in Waukee.
That was the summer of last year.
Summer of last year. And then now we have two more.
December, we had Pleasant Hill.
Yes,
open
and we
up.
have a grand opening coming up for that later
Have a
this
grand
spring.
opening for
so
that one.
everyone watch for more information.
What's the date on that one?
It's the beginning of April.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, beginning of
Yeah.
April.
Yeah, and then shortly thereafter will be the first week in May. Sometime we'll be opening up our Adele community.
Adele, that's
Yes.
exciting.
Very
That-
exciting.
That'll be a really
Yeah.
good one. Adele's grown so fast, but also that is such a popular place for families right
Oh, yeah.
now. Between Waukee and Adele, I think those were really good,
Yep.
good locations to just start a new, quote unquote, new Edencrest or continue
Yes.
Edencrest.
And we have the team, many of the team members in place, so you can almost see, feel, and taste the building before it's even finished because
Right.
they already have the vision for for the community.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about in those two, like maybe the two newest communities?
And the two newest ones?
Yeah, like Pleasant Hill and Adel.
So it's fun watching a new community come alive, right?
Yeah.
You start to get residents in there and families, and it becomes more of a vibrant community. Just the energy and the enjoyment that we get from providing these services and providing employment to that local community.
Yeah.
Those types of things are the things that I enjoy seeing, and building the team and being able to provide a need for the local community there.
Love that.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to round out because you guys we're at 35 minutes. We did it.
Wow.
I knew you guys would
No.
do it. You just act all shocked. Stop.
None of
All
us
right.
like talking.
I know you guys.
We're a shy group.
We're very shy.
Right.
But I do want to end on just some of the things, I guess, if you had to give advice to someone looking for, a community for a loved one today, what's maybe a piece of advice you would give them?
I'll go ahead and start. So
Yeah.
I think it's important that you come prepared, that you write down questions that you have, because oftentimes we'll give a tour. They'll go home. They'll be like, "Oh, I wish I would have asked X, Y, and Z." Write down those questions. There are tons of resources out there too, pre-populated questions to ask. I think that's important. That will really help you gain a better understanding of what you're getting into. This is a transitional phase of life. It's not easy. No one's, you haven't been there before. You're stepping into that, and it can be a difficult decision.
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared. You have to ask the questions, and really put it on the communities to be able to answer those questions. Make sure that they can meet your needs.
Love that.
Yeah.
It's an evolution, not a revolution, right? It's
Correct.
just that next step.
Yep.
I
about you,
think it's just allowing us to help. I think that's this isn't about being guilty about bringing your loved one. It's about helping them and allowing us to help. And so realizing that this is going to help them be more social, help them be more involved, have more eyes on them all the time. I think that's my big thing, is just giving us an opportunity. One thing I don't think we talked about is that, if you have concerns or you just don't know how it's going to work, we have respite stay. You can come.
Trial stays.
You can do a trial stay with us. You can see.
Tell us more about that. Tell me more.
You can do a respite stay. You can come and stay. Typically, a respite is less than 30 days, but you can come and you can get a feel. And I think it helps not only kind of mom and dad to understand and see what it's going to be like, but it's also for the kids to see what it's like. And I would say 9 times out of 10.
Yes, it's very popular.
It's very popular. And so
what's it like for me to come and go and visit mom and dad, or decide to take them on a lunch outing or whatever?
And they have furniture in them, and so they have respite
They're
rooms.
beautifully
They're
furnished.
beautiful. Yeah,
Yes.
I would come stay at a respite.
Right.
Yeah, and so you can come, you can try it out, try our food.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yes. I would say for adult children, allow your parent to find their people. Sometimes we make it big and you want to put your mom and dad at a fancy place, and that's not their comfort zone. And so you're going to see people like maybe stay to themselves more, and you'll think like, oh, senior living wasn't for them. And that's not the case. When we tour, it's talking to the actual resident, definitely to see what their comfort level is, what they would like to see. Are these their people? Are these their type of neighbors? And then be open. We've heard everything by the time you've done this for a while, and you want people to be people to be open so that your questions do get answers.
Right.
And, so we often during our assessment, there's a time where the resident can talk just to the nurse so that, they don't have to say things that in front of their adult children that might be private because they still want to be the parent. So we're very, attuned to what the actual resident that needs control, what that feels like to them, the whole moving process.
And you can talk to any one of the leaders. So if there's someone who has questions about diets, the salesperson, the marketing person is going to bring in the executive chef and sit down. If it's a wellness question, bring in the nurse. We're all there to help guide them and answer any questions and make them feel comfortable about being there.
Love that. Well, I know that all of you use the word dignity a lot, right?
Yes.
That is a huge, key word outside of vibrant communities and in creating this life, this enriched life that's, again, just kind of a next step, but just doing so in all of those ways and having dignity going about it. So,
Absolutely.
Yep.
I love that. Well, anything else that you guys think people should really know? Thank you for the respite stay. That was a perfect thank you. That was a big thing. What else didn't we hit on today?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I know we only have so much time, so we can't talk all day. However, I want people to know that, Edencrest, 10 communities, 2 new ones. Pleasant Hill is open currently. Adele, can you tour yet, or are you touring currently?
You will be able to be in the building in the next few weeks.
Okay, so soon.
We are having informational meetings start in the beginning of March. So we will be able to have a lot of information and bring it to life from the inside, maybe some video of the inside showing there. But we're very, very, close to people being able to come in. Yeah. And we do have, for our new communities, there's a Founders Club, which allows people to be a part of something new and exciting and be in on naming, the different parts of the building and establishing the first clubs, the first coffee clutch, or whatever your interest is. You're involved in getting the community up and going, and you get some perks for that. So
I love that. I hit my mic again, for Pete's sakes. You guys, it's been a bit.
Amateur.
It's been a bit since I've been here. Well, I just hope families feel comfortable enough to reach out, because I know that's kind of step one, right? Is figuring out what to do, whether that's coming to tour and have lunch, or doing the respite stay, or just reaching out to say,
there's no really pressure at all. There's no pressure. Come find out. It is a big step in life. So you gotta,
info gathering is always good.
That info
and we are on Facebook, where you can Google, you can walk in. There's you can just stop in and ask questions, and
you can say, "I'm just curious. I don't want a just curious tour." And we have a vision. You can put a vision together of what the community would feel like if you live there, but no commitment.
Yeah. Is that what we call it? It's just a curious tour? Yeah. I love that. Fun. I do like that a lot. Well, and I know everyone can find more information. We'll put links in our show notes too, but EdencrestLiving.com is obviously where they can find some information about Edencrest and the 10 communities, and then HighmarkSeniorLiving.com if you're a little bit more curious about the senior property management and some of the core values and vision we have there too. Okay, it's time to go off the rails. Okay.
All right.
Did you guys forget? Did you forget, or did you remember? Okay, off the rails. It's a randomly generated question. I didn't generate this in advance, I promise you. And it gave me 2 good ones, and that was why I wrote down both of them. So technically I get to generate a little bit. I think I'm going to go with this one because you guys are fun.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
What's your
We'll let Jed go first.
You want me to go first?
Yep. Okay.
All right.
I feel like you've all been very buttoned up for this episode, by the way. I know we could go more off the rails than we currently are. This is
very true.
It's a fairly safe question. What's your favorite day of the week and why?
Ooh.
I know. I thought that was a fun one.
Wow.
Favorite day of the week. We're all answering this, by the way.
Okay. Mine's probably Friday.
What a canned answer.
Well, no, but listen, I like putting in a good week's work, right? And I like the feeling of accomplishing something. Yeah. And then I love the feeling of being able to just get that weight off my shoulders and enjoy my weekend, right? And so Friday's kind of that transition day that all that happens. So
love that.
Yep.
Go, Jen.
Mine would have to be Saturday.
Oh,
it is. It's Saturday. I still get up early, but I feel like I can start the day with my coffee and my dog and just enjoy it, and then plan out the day. Nicer weather than -40.
Please.
Yes, where I can go on a walk on the walking trails. I know.
It's right around the corner, guys.
I know.
Hang in there.
I know. So mine's Saturday, and it's typically, football. So yeah, I'm a Saturday person.
Love that. What's your dog's name?
Dudley.
Oh.
He's a lab.
Oh.
Yes.
So cute.
He's been with me to the communities.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. He's visited with me.
We're going to have to put a GoPro on Dudley and do a
that
little
would be
POV.
Amazing. Yes.
I would love to know what Dudley thinks, because she has all kinds of
I have
conversations with him.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I do. I talk to him constantly.
All right, Maria, favorite day of the week and
Well,
why?
she stole my answer,
Sunday.
but mine's definitely Saturday, but for a different reason, maybe. You hear all during the week all the exciting places that people in our communities go, and then I will get on and make reservations or plans for myself based on different trips that they went on. And it's nice to have that, like, just flexibility to do anything that you like. I mean, in sales, a lot of times we're working on the weekends, but even that's fun because whole families can come in together because they're all off work. So I would definitely say Saturday, because you wake up and just don't know what the day has in store.
Has planned.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I would either say I like Wednesdays. I don't know why. Always have kind of just that midweek feel where maybe
Hump
it's the
day.
where you kind of just like you know the weekend is coming. Yeah. But I am a sucker for Sunday mornings. Like slow Sunday mornings, coffee.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have a 3-year-old, so they're not really that slow anymore. But big breakfast. Yeah. Slow Sunday morning, just being at home. Sundays are like my home day. Mm-hmm. I don't make plans. I refuse. Generally.
Nice.
And that's what I love.
Oh, that sounds nice. Now that would make Sunday my favorite day.
Yeah. Well, see, I attempt. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I know we barely scratched the surface talking on, all the great things that Edencrest communities offer and Highmark and how, we all operate just from a quality care and enrichment and wellness and all the vibrant communities that we're operating across the metro. So I appreciate you guys taking your time out of your very busy schedules, because I know they are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Matt, next time you're bringing Dudley.
I will bring Dudley next time.
Sounds good. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
All right.
He has a lot to say.
I appreciate it. You guys are the best. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Dig It, a real estate podcast, produced by me, Claire Bramer. Audio editing and uploads by the ever-talented Amplified Des Moines team, and brought to you by Hubble Realty Company. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and share this podcast with anyone who loves real estate just as much as we do by listening and sharing wherever you get your podcasts and watching on YouTube at Dig It. Have questions or topics you'd like us to dig into? Reach out. We'd love to hear from you.